Hey, I'm not gonna talk with my hands.
Again, just don't put them up in.
I can't help it.
Do what you do.
Hey everybody, my name is Tacondra.
And I'm Eric.
And in this video, we're gonna talk about 4 keys to unity in your marriage. If you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. The enemy is always after unity in marriage.
Yeah.
Why? Because unity is powerful. Now, my husband served in the military for over 17 years, and I'm going to ask him this question. So, babe, when you guys were in the military, you wore a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us why you wore that uniform and how important it was on the battlefield?
We wore a uniform to identify ourselves as on the same team, meaning it separated us from the enemy. We knew what the enemy looked like, and we knew what our brothers in arms looked like. Why is that important in the battlefield? Because we do not want to kill each other, right? I don't want my buddy on my right or my left to shoot me because they don't know who I'm representing. And so the uniform was a sign of unity, and it was an identification tool for us to know who was the enemy and who
was on the same team.
Who was on the same team.
That's good. That's good. So that is so important to know, especially as it relates to marriage.
Right.
We have a theme where, we say we're battle buddies.
Right.
We're on the same team, but the enemy always wants us to think that we're against each other, like we're each other's enemy in marriage. Why? Because marriage is the true depiction of Christ and his love for the church. So of course, the enemy doesn't like marriage. He hates marriage, in fact. But there are things that we can do to protect not only our good thing, but our God thing. And so this is why it's important for us to talk about unity and 4 keys to maintaining or even cultivating unity within marriage. Now, I want to break down uniform. Okay. Uni means one, right? And form means one form, shape, or appearance.
Right.
So in marriage, we want to be in unity. And in order for us to be in unity, we have to be in uniform.
Come on.
We got to have one. And when we say form, shape, or appearance, we ain't talking about, it could be because he done put on.
Look,
she done put
on a whole lot of weight.
My stomach just. But what we mean is one mindset.
Yeah.
One way of thinking. We're one in marriage, but we're not the same. Clearly, we're not the same. I'm a woman. That's a man.
All day, every day.
Okay?
And I don't want to be a woman.
But we want to have one mindset. We want to have one image. With that being said, let's talk about 4 keys to having unity in marriage. One I want to start with is humility. Now, be humble. Now, my husband, if you don't know me personally, which you probably don't. I got a story to tell, but my husband is the true depiction of humility. Ask family, friends, anybody that we've come in contact with in our lifetime. He is always the humble one, filled with humility. He's more like the staff of comfort. I'm like the rod of correction.
I'm there to fix it up.
Right? Oh, I love people too. I'm humble. My love is just a little loud. It's okay. But here is a key to unity again, back in marriage. It's humility. And that basically means valuing your spouse above yourself. It means you stepping out of the spotlight and letting your spouse shine instead. Oof. Oh no, because I look. That's hard. I'm just playing. But let's talk about that. It's not thinking less of yourself, but it's thinking of yourself less.
Listen, you gotta have a winning attitude when it comes to marriage. Like when she win, I win. When she lose, I lose. Like there's no I. There's an I in unity, but there's literally no I in what we do.
There's
You know what I'm saying?
one.
In one, yeah, absolutely. And so let's just take the whole I out. Like, I have to put myself aside, and that doesn't mean that I neglect my needs or anything like that, but I have to be able to express and communicate what I need to you, because you're here to help me to meet that need, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to be that helpmeet for each other. It's not just a woman thing. I believe men have to take on that as well, because there are times where I am weak and you are strong.
Yeah.
And then there's times where you're strong and I'm weak, and we have to learn how to, cultivate and continue to grow and build and progress together, and not hold it over each other's heads like a dark cloud.
What I think some reasons are someone may struggle with humility and valuing your spouse above yourself, especially within marriage. If you've experienced broken trust, if you've experienced, hurt,
right.
There may be some areas inside of your heart in need of healing. If you've experienced brokenness in your marriage, let's call it what it is. I know this for a fact because I struggle with this. But what happens is it leaves a void in you. It can give birth to self-entitlement.
Come on.
Trust me, I know. It can give birth to self-entitlement, or this mentality that, you owe me something. So why should I give you, the spotlight? Why should I value you above me when you hurt me? And that can be harmful in a marriage. It can be harmful in any relationship, period, because you can walk away from a friendship, another marriage into another relationship with that same damaged mentality that it's all about me, myself, and I. And you'll hold that next person accountable for what the last person did to you, or some person from years ago. So that's one key to unity in marriage, is being humble, having humility in your marriage.
Having a servant mentality. Like, I'm here to serve you. What can I do for you today?
What can I do?
Right? How can I make your day better? Right? Because when you take that servant, approach, ego and pride, it has to sit down. Like I can't come at you like that with pride.
Right.
Because first I'm not going to ask you what can I do for you today. Be like, what haven't I done for you today? You see what I'm saying? So it's all about the delivery and how we approach this thing, because humility is in us already. We just
have to take pride off.
Yeah.
We have to make pride take a back seat.
Change clothes.
Come on. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is gentleness.
Men, husbands, you have to be gentle, soft, and pretty, right? No, seriously though. Bring the harshness down, lower your voice, right? There's a way to communicate gently. I've learned over the years that I need to handle her with care. So in knowing that, I can't always be aggressive when she's emotional. If she's crying, I can't be the first to say, you need to stop crying. Because we, as men, we want to be nurtured. We love our mamas. If you are a son, if you a man, you came from your mama, you are a mama's boy. I don't care how good your daddy was. No, everybody loves their mama if your mama's in your life. I'm not.
Well, yeah, because everybody's not a great mother, though. So
absolutely. Yeah. But there's nothing like the mother's love, and the next best thing to that is the love of a wife, right? And it's not saying she's my mother, but that gentleness and that nurturing that you bring in the relationship, it softens us in places that we tend to be hard, because we feel like we can't be gentle. Right? We think gentle means weakness when it's really a strength.
Husbands, love your wives and be gentle with them. Be gentle with them. Now, I'm going to speak on behalf of the wives' side, because we know, as wives, some wives anyway, we can be harsh with our words. And there's a scripture, I can't quote it, but it says that a gentle something will turn away wrath, something like that.
It's in Proverbs, one of them. That's a book of wisdom,
okay? What I've learned is, and still learning, is that Our words can either build or they can tear down.
Mm-hmm.
So my advice to women, wives, would be to be gentle with your words.
Yeah.
Like I said, my voice projects. I'm just I have a heavy voice, okay? And sometimes when I'm talking to my husband or if I'm talking to my daughter, they're like, why are you yelling? I'm like, I'm not yelling, I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that gentle and quiet spirit, I have a gentle and quiet spirit, but that has nothing to do with my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm practicing, I'm trying to get it down, but it's just how God made me.
Right.
I'm not a yeller. My voice just naturally projects, but I've had to take note, okay, if I talk too loud or if I talk a certain way, he doesn't receive it as me being gentle. I come across as harsh. I come across as, you just, what do you call it? Barking at me.
Yeah, sometimes,
Yeah. So even with that, be mindful of the tone of your voice when you're speaking to your husband. Be mindful of that because he don't want to talk to somebody who's barking at him, yelling at him, throwing orders at him. Be gentle.
Yeah.
Love, like you said, nurture. We're nurturers as wives and mothers. We're natural born nurturers. So nurture our husbands, your husband, with your words.
That's good.
Number 3 key for unity. It is
patience. Let
patience have
perfect
work.
Like
patience. I don't know if I can talk on this one. I mean, this one's tough. You guys, it's tough. Let's just be honest.
Sometimes just being patient means being quiet. Right? Because when we're not patient, we're usually complaining. Or we're usually trying to rush into something that requires a level of patience that we probably haven't experienced, but we need to in order to thrive in whatever we're getting ready to go into. And so a lot of times I pull back or I'm patient because I want to see how things work first. I need to see some things play out, and that requires patience. That requires, you can't have patience without trust. Right? And then you can't have trust if you ain't got no love. And if your love jacked up, then all this other stuff ain't gonna work. Right? And so patience is just a continuation of all of those things. Listen, it says, let patience have her perfect work.
Yeah.
Like, and it is a virtue. It's something that you can work on. It's something that it's not gonna just come overnight. You really get patience when you go through things.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes they say, be careful what you ask God for. They say, don't ask God.
Patience.
Right, don't pray for patience because a test is coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so those tests come to work your patience. Like, can I wait on God?
And one of the reasons why patience never finishes or perfects its work in us is because we always give up in the middle of the process, or we always give up. We like, wait a minute, this too hard. I ain't pray for this. In marriage, okay? Like, I ain't got time. I'm out. Yeah. I don't have to settle for this. I don't have to put up with this.
You don't.
And you don't. There are some things, you're right, you don't have to put up with. But patience, maturity. When I tell y'all, he has been and still is very patient with me.
It's just understanding,
Lord, I have the microwave faith. Right?
She's the hare, I'm the turtle.
I'm a racehorse. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to be nice. Don't call you no horse.
I'm a racehorse.
Yeah, you be.
What? He a sloth. He said it wrong. He ain't even a turtle. He is a sloth. Okay. I've had to learn to wait on him in certain situations, and he's had to be patient with me in certain situations because I live in the future, and I'm like, my mind is going like this, and he's like, with her. Let me let her talk. Let me let her, get this off of her mind. Let me be patient with her attitude. Just tons of things. He's had to be patient with me over the years. Definitely cultivate patience. Practice it. Put it to work. Let it have its perfect work in you because it is maturing you.
The wait prepares you for the wait. Did y'all catch that? The wait.
W-A-I-T.
Yes.
prepares you for the weight. WEIGHT.
In anything. Like, if you just wait, when the thing comes, it's not as heavy if you had rushed it.
Come on.
You know, and so I equate that to lifting weights. Like 1 week you may be lifting 200 pounds, but that don't mean you jump to 300 because you can lift 200.
Right.
If you wait and you continue to grow at a pace,
be patient,
right, and you're patient with your body,
patient in the process,
and allow yourself to get stronger. When you get to 300, it's gonna feel like 200.
Yeah. Oof, come on, because the weight prepares you for the weight.
Yes, Lord. I've been listening to you, girl.
Listening to me. All right, number four. Last but not least, and certainly the most important is love.
My heart is not that good.
What mine look like? I ain't even know.
Love.
The key to unity is love. This is what we always fall back on because love is the base and the boundary, the balance and the beauty, the sum and the substance, the center. I said it out of. I said it out of order. The center and the circumference. It's all about love. People
took Tina Turner's song "What Love Got to Do with It" and just ran with it. Love got everything to do with it. She ain't stayed because she liked getting beat up. She really loved that guy.
She did.
You know what I'm saying? And it took him to continue to break that love for her to realize, like, man, I can do bad, mama. Like, I can do, you know what I'm saying? And so we have to understand that we were created to love.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's natural for you to love and want to be loved.
The more you fight love, true love, you're always going to fall for counterfeit.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot of counterfeit love.
Counterfeit affections.
Yeah.
The key to maintaining unity and growing and cultivating unity in marriage is love. That's the number one key. Start there, as a matter of fact. Don't end there. You have to start there. Okay? So those were the 4 keys we want to give you today as it relates to maintaining, cultivating, and possessing unity in marriage. Remember, you are one image. You're one team. You are battle buddies. And don't ever let the enemy deceive you into thinking that your spouse is your enemy.
Absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys next time.